Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Nothing Else Will Do. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I meant to do this lesson yesterday, but I wasn't able to. I was dealing with some, spiritual and physical things yesterday, and I wasn't able to do this lesson. At one point, I wanted to force it, but I know that forcing the spirit doesn't work because, hey, how you doing? All right. You want things to be done, in the spirit, not force it, because when you force it, you tend to ramble, you know, speak on emotional things, and you want lessons. When we do these lessons, we want them to be edifying, so that those that are watching and listening are able to get the sense, the understanding, learn from it, and be able to learn, so that they can build up their spiritual arsenal in the truth, to be able to, be spiritually strong in the truth, and that's pretty much what you want as a whole. So I didn't do the lesson yesterday, but I'm doing it, Lord's will today. And pretty much, the name of the lesson being Nothing Else Will Do is pretty much dealing with the kingdom of heaven. There's nothing else or nothing less that's going to, give us any form of comfort than the kingdom of heaven. Because I remember Elder Apostle Gabar says this from time to time. There's nothing left to excite us. Even the things that we, liked to do, that we had pleasure in doing, to kind of, sidestep, this world, and when you unplug, so to speak, to just to do something, to kind of give, get some type of relief or reprieve, or some type of comfort. Even those things don't even, please us or please me anymore. There's nothing that I've done before that I used to like to do that kind of, would help me get my mind off of stuff. None of that shit works anymore. It doesn't bring me any joy, any comfort, nothing. So this is why I wanted to do this lesson, because this is pretty much exactly where we're supposed to be. Hey, sometimes it feels like you're at the fucking brink of insanity, like you're gonna go out of your fucking skull. But this is all a part of this walk that we're walking. The depression, the anger, and it's not always like that. You have different moments where but those moments are fleeting moments, very far and few in between. So I wanted to start off with this. Salaki for a little bit of a rant there, but I wanted to start off with this in Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, which came to mind when I was setting up. Now I'm gonna start at the 16th verse, Ecclesiastes 1:16. It says, I communed with mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. And this is King Solomon speaking. And even though we haven't attained that level of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, in these times that we're living in, we have more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding than our forefathers from back then. And that learning, has pretty much given us a different perspective and a different view of the world, and it pretty much brings nothing but bitterness. And this is why the scriptures speak about the scriptures being sweet as honey, but then being bitter. They become bitter when they hit the stomach, meaning the mind, because that there's a better place coming, but we're still stuck in this God-forsaken place, as they say. And we're battling in this thing, how the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has given us to battle, right? It says, yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And we have that today. Not on the level of King Solomon, of course, because he had great wisdom, but in comparison to the people of this world that have that are learning, you know, which really they're not learning, or that claim to know the Bible, claim to know the Most High, is no comparison. You know, the Lord has elevated us mentally, spiritually, with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding above all other people on the planet. You know, but with that learning comes a lot of bitterness, you know, and that bitterness, you know, will eat at you. And that's why you try to find different things to do, you know, to try to offset, you know, and you know, do stuff to kind of comfort your spirit, comfort your soul, comfort your mind. But even that doesn't bring any comfort, any joy, you know, because at the end of the day, all of this shit is bullshit. The music is bullshit. You know, the food is bullshit. You know, everything is just bullshit, you know? So it goes on to say, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. Yeah, because, you know, one of the biggest things that pisses you off is you see, you know, people in the world, the most wickedest individuals in the world, you know, because we're all wicked, but the most wickedest individuals in the world seem like they have everything to their disposal, which we understand why, because Satan is blessing them. You know, they seem to be in the greatest shape, and you know, the top health. You got these motherfuckers blowing rods out there, getting popped in their ass, and they have the fucking, you know, they have, you know, supreme health in their body. And here it is, you know, men of the Lord that are trying their best to serve the Lord and to do His work, seem like they have the worst health. You know, and this is why, like King Solomon said, it's vanity and vexation of the spirit, man. It fucking irks you. It really does. You know, it really gets down deep inside your soul, man. You know, and twists and wrings it. You know, it really gives you that real bitterness, man. You know, but this is all a part of the purging process, and this is the part that most individuals cannot deal with, because unless the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gives the minerals to deal with a situation like this, most people say, man, fuck this, I'm out of here. I ain't signing up for this. This is some bullshit. You know, but we understand differently. We understand that this is the path that has to be taken of the men of the Lord in order for them to achieve, you know, the goal of the kingdom of heaven. Because it says through much tribulation, we must enter into the kingdom of heaven. So it says, and this is the point here, verse 18, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. And that is the key, you know, and this is why there's so much bitterness to those, you know, men and few sisters. I know you other skeezers, you hate when we say few sisters, because few sisters, we say it because there's only a few sisters that really, you know, adhere to this and are trying their best. The rest of you skanks, you bring in that feminist spirit into this. You know, you try to be what you were in the world and try to, you know, and just because you know that you're an Israelite, now you can bring your fucking baggage into the truth. No, it don't work like that, ho. You know, so fall back, get in fucking line. You know, at least the Lord destroy you, and He will destroy you. So let's go from there. It's another precept that came to mind earlier, and I'm just gonna read a couple of precepts and, you know, and close it out with that. You know, see how far the Spirit allows me to go. Let's go to St. John chapter 12. And you know, this is the thing. Other Israelite camps out there, they don't talk about these type of lessons, and this is all in the scriptures. You think that when Yahweh Shai was walking the earth, he was, you know, jumping up and kicking his feet together, you know, be happy that he was going to go on that cross? No, he was in great stress, great distress. You know, he told his disciples, I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how I am straitened until it be accomplished. You know, So this is St. John 12 and 23. And Yahushua answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except the corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. And that, you know, corn of wheat is dealing with Yahushua. You know, he was that corn of wheat, or that substance that had to die in order to bring forth much fruit. All right. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it. And this is why, we understand that these people here that love their life, they're going to lose their life because they don't want to give this up. You have others that have sold their soul to live a better life, you know, because they don't see anything else but this present world right now. You see, it's funny because when I first got here, there was nobody here. Now all of a sudden, everybody just gathered around. But that's all right, you know. Yeah, I wish I said, if I be lifted up, I would draw all men unto me. So, and I believe it says that in the same chapter. So it says, he that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. And boy, do we hate this fucking world. Do we hate this? This is not a life. Like Elder Apostle Gabar, from time to time, he says, we're not really living, we're just existing. We're just existing on this plane. And when he says that nothing brings us, there's nothing that excites us anymore, it's true. There's nothing here that excites us. The only thing that would excite us is if this fucking whole shithole went up in flames, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Al Shai, and the kingdom of heaven would be established today. Today. But we know that that's not possible until all these other prophecies come to pass. You know? Yep, that's a good precept. I'm gonna read some of these. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Yeah, because the house of mourning gives you time to reflect. The house of feasting, your mind becomes lazy. You become complacent, comfortable, and when adversity comes, you're not going to know how to handle it or deal with it. But if you're constantly in bitterness, in hardship, it makes you sharper, even though it doesn't feel good. And then when situations arise, you're able to maneuver through them better because of the experiences you have. Verse 4 says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. Another precept brother put up was Psalm 37 and 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Yep. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way. That's right. Because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Yeah, because even Asaph said that. He said he was envious at the foolish when he saw the prosperity of the wicked, because they weren't in trouble as other men. And this is how we feel. The world is partying, living it up. Yahushua said that. And it seems like the closer the closer we get to the Lord, the more beat down we become, the more broken down we become, the closer we get to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But this is part of the understanding. This is why we tell brothers out there and few sisters. Yes, I said few sisters, that some of these people don't understand what they're involved in. They think when they come into the truth, they're gonna prosper and live a comfortable life. No, it's gonna be the total opposite. You're gonna live an uncomfortable life. You're gonna live a life of bitterness. All right, so going back, it says, if any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. That's right. And Yahushua said, the cup that I drink, you're gonna drink of it also. And trust me and believe me when I tell you that that cup is bitter. Yahushua's cup was the most bitter. And we're sipping from that same cup. You know, that's why you feel that bitterness. You know, that's why nothing really brings you any pleasure. You try to relax, you try to, you know, do things or maybe watch a movie or try, you know, try different things, you know, just to kind of get your mind, keep your mind occupied, you know, for the moment. You know, some brothers like to watch sports and different things of that nature. None of that excites me at all, you know. Listen to music, you know, only thing I really listen to is mostly is the older music, and even that after a while gets, you know, gets boring because you done heard the song so many times. You know, it's like you know, you play it, you know, for the first 10 seconds, you're like, yeah, and then nowadays, change this shit. Yeah, but that's the condition of the battle. It says, now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour, but for this cause came I in unto the to this hour. That's right. You know, so he understood that. Because we want the Lord to hurry up and destroy this place and deliver us and bring the kingdom. But you know, we have to go through what we have to go through. Be purged from our sins and our iniquities for the things that we've done. So it says, Father, glorify thy name. And this is the thing. What we're doing is glorifying the name of the Lord. So we're coming against the heart of wickedness in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to glorify those holy names. So every demon in hell is coming against us, you know, to attack us, you know, to try to rip us away from the Lord. But the only way that any of us will be ripped away is if we're not part of the elect. Because if we're a part of the elect, there's nothing that these demons could do. There's no condition low enough that they could bring us to that will rip us away from this truth, like the Apostle Paul said. No, nothing is going to be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh Bashem Shai if we be a part of the elect. And that's the bottom line. It says, then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. The people, therefore, that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said an angel spake to him. So pretty much the ones that heard the thunder are the ones that did not receive the message, which were not a part of the elect. The ones that heard the voice are the ones that are a part of the elect. And that's very spiritual right there, because that is a spiritual separation between those that are of the elect and those that are not. Those that can hear the message and those that can't. Yahushua answered and said, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Yeah, it was to strengthen them. Yeah, because remember, even when Yahushua went through the 40 days of fasting and battling them demons, and at the end, the very last day, fighting Satan himself, you know, the angels had to come and minister to him, because you know, he was physically and spiritually exhausted at that point. You know, so when we're at the last of our bitterness, the Lord is going to send something there to lift our spirit back up somehow, some way. All right, that's why it says, cast your burdens upon the Lord. Because at the end of the day, you know, the only way we can carry the load is if the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai give us the minerals, you know, to continue on in the quest. And this is why when certain individuals fall off, you know, you really can't get mad, because that was that they weren't given the oil, they weren't given the substance to finish the race. And these are examples to what? To bring fear upon those that are still here. Least that happened to you. You know? It says, now is the judgment of this world, now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And boy, we can't wait for that. It tells us in Isaiah, I believe it's the 10th chapter, that the I can't think of the actual quote. I can only think of part of it. So just bear with me. Let me get that real quick. Because that's the only thing that's going to bring us joy. Because the script, this fucking world is under a satanic, demonic, mournful spirit, man. It's really fucking depressing, man. Let's see. can't find it right now, but you know what? No, it's I believe it's a 26th chapter. Just bear with me. I can't really form the whole, how it's said. Right, here we go. Isaiah 26:18. Barak Tehel Bashem El Shai. We have been with child, we have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind, and have not wrought any deliverance in the earth. That's why it says the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. You see? And that he does not die in the pit. It says, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. See, and that's it says, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. So that's where we at, because until these devils don't fall, righteousness is not going to come upon the earth. And this is, the whole situation that we're waiting for. The scripture say, hope deferred makes the heart sick. you know. So going back to St. John chapter 12, and let's read that again. 31. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. Right. And that's pretty much what we're doing. We're lifting up Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And he said that he will draw all men unto me, meaning all Israelite men, because all Israel shall be saved in the kingdom of heaven. And this time there's going to be a lot of Jakes that's going to die. Excuse me. But in the kingdom of heaven, they will all be delivered, because Yahweh died for the whole nation. But in these times, only the elect, will be delivered. And through the elect, the rest of Israel will come, because the Lord said he's going to remove all uncleanness and all unrighteousness from Israel, which that's what Yahweh did. It says, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's more to it, but that's the main point. Now let's go to the book of Luke real quick. This is another precept, a precept off of that St. John 12. This is St. Luke 9. I don't remember the actual verse, so just bear with me for a second. Right, here we go. This is Luke 9 and 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. And this is something that most are not willing to do, because this world has taught everyone to be selfish. It's all about you. It's all about you. Fuck everybody else. It's all about you. So that selfish demon, even in the truth, you have, selfish demon in the truth, where it's all about you. You don't give a fuck about nobody else but yourself. See? And if you have that type of spirit, you ain't going to last in this. Because Yahweh said, if anyone come after him, let him deny himself. Just like Yahweh denied himself. And that is our ultimate example. The bitterness, he was so bitter that he cried and he drops of sweat and blood together. That's how stressed out he was. See? So he denied himself. He said, no greater love hath a man that he lays down his life for his brother. You have to seriously ask yourself that, will you be able to do that? Will you be able to give your life for another brother? And the answer to that would, in most cases, would be no. That's the ultimate form of denial of oneself. It says, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Because this is a daily routine, a daily thing. Daily. This is something that is done daily. It says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. Yeah. And you have those that want to say that, like even individuals that call themselves Israelites, that know that they're Israelites. They're looking for the long haul, going to college, you know, setting up that nest egg, that exit plan for just in case. Because even this dude that used to be in the school in Connecticut, I believe it was him, if I'm not mistaken. Brothers, the bishops remember. I'm pretty sure the apostles also remember. I'm not sure if the apostles were there when he said it, but I believe he said he had a plot of land. I think it was Hot Dog Neck, or he had a something in case. I believe he said something in case the year 2000 nothing happens or something like that. He had like a contingency plan for lack of better words. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what he had said, something along those lines. And I believe it was him that said it. If any of the bishops, that remember that, you know, um, they could confirm it. But I believe that's what he said, something along those lines. And that's pretty much the consensus of a lot of individuals that come into the truth. They have you hear Elder Pastor say it from time to time, they have a timetable in their mind that if the Lord don't do this or come by this particular time, then they're going to make their exit. They're going to move on. They're going to, go to so-called plan B. There is no plan B. This is what it is. This is the only plan. This is from plan A to plan Z. This right here, what we're doing, what we're teaching. Because there's nothing else in this world. This world is total wickedness. And if you can't see that, that means that you're wicked. The only thing that will bring any type of solace, any type of comfort is the destruction of this world and the setting up of the next world in righteousness, where you can finally take a real breath, where we could finally breathe for real. Because this place is fucking filthy on all levels, physically and spiritually. It says, whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. Right, because this world is temporary. Matter of fact, I'll come back to that. Another precept came to mind, which I was thinking about earlier, and then Elder Yashawamba had sent it to me, which shows you that was a spirit. He didn't know that scripture was in my mind, in my spirit, and he sent it to me. I was like, wow, check that out. And the spirit, and I totally forgot about it till just now. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Just bear with me real quick. Let me get a little bit of this water. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse, I'll start at 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. That's right. And that's why it says, with much wisdom cometh much sorrow. The Apostle Paul said that because of the great revelations that were given to him, there was a thorn in his flesh. And that thorn, he prayed for that thorn to be removed. But it wasn't removed. He said, at least he would be exalted, from all those revelations that were given to him. So that was like a check from the Lord, so that he wouldn't get beside himself, so to speak. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, because it is light, but to us it seems heavy, because like the scriptures say, every heart knows its own bitterness, and depending on whatever you're dealing with, it ain't always the easiest thing to do, but somehow, some way, the Lord gives us the ability to maneuver around it. He said he won't put more on the man that he could bear. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Right. And that weight of glory will not come unless this wicked place, this wicked world, comes to an end, to be able to establish the new kingdom. which is the kingdom of Yahushai slash Yasha Allah, which will be ruled in righteousness. That's why it says that we, according to his promise, look for new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, meaning they're temporary. Everything that we see in this world is temporary. You know, life, you know, buildings, everything that you see is temporary. It says, but the things which are not seen, which is what? The kingdom of heaven, are eternal. And that's why the kingdom of heaven will never be done away with. There ain't gonna be 5 Edomites that are waiting in the wings because they see, you know, the Lord getting weak and the Israelites getting weak. And then the Edomites will say, you know, this is our time now. They're about to fall again and then come in and rule over us again. No, that's some madness that Elder Lahab was teaching. That is not going to happen. That scripture in the Revelation, the 20th chapter, that already happened. The 1,000 years where Esau would be in power and then, you know, be down and then come up. He came up during the time of the Renaissance period, and he's still up. He's still in that time period. So once he goes down, that's it. It's going to be over with. No more of this nonsense. No more of this wicked rule. Let's go real quick to Revelation 21, and we'll close it out there. I wanted to read the whole chapter, but I didn't get a chance to proofread it. So let's read the first couple of verses, maybe the first 3 or 4 verses, and then end it there. Revelation 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Right. This is the Israelites coming down from the chariot of Yahushai, coming back down on the earth, renewed, refreshed. You know, bodies changed, minds changed, laws inserted into our inward parts to be reestablished on the earth. It says, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Which heaven and earth was that? Esau's heaven and earth, the heathens' heaven and earth, the time when they were given to rule. You know? And now it's time for the Israelites to come back up, beginning with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the Israelites, for a righteous kingdom to be established upon the earth. And there was only a little taste of it for 40 years during the time of King Solomon. And now, as Yahushai, he is going to resume his kingdom once this cesspool is put down. It says, and there was no more sea, meaning there was no more nations ruling, because the sea represents nations. Sometimes it represents the sea, but sometimes it represents the nations. When you read the 17th chapter, it tells you that it's nations and tongues and peoples. So there's not going to be any more heathenistic rulers on the earth. They're going to all be subject under us in the kingdom of heaven. Yahushai said, you know, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And when Yahushai comes back, that's the end of their kingdom. That's why the last ruler would be Esau. It says, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from heaven, from the Most High, out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Right. And that's pretty much what it's going to be, because you may have a woman that's going to get married and she might be 10, 15 pounds overweight and she wants to lose that weight, you know, so she goes to change her diet, you know, she works out, she walks, you know, she might fast a couple of days here and there, you know, to try to bring the weight down. Meanwhile, everything is being prepared for the wedding. You know, she's going to get fitted for the dress, you know, and once the dress is made, you know, they can make alterations to it, you know, and then, you know, she has all of everything that goes along with it. You know, the dress, the necklace, you know, the rings, you know, bracelet, whatever, the hair done, the nails, you know, the whole works. So when the kingdom of heaven is established and the Israelites come down from the chariot, they're gonna be perfected. just like a bride getting ready to get married to the bridegroom. And that's what we're going through right now. But when the elect get beamed up, everything, the change happens, and when they come down, the perfection, and then the union between Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the nation of Israel. You know, that's going to be the bestest wedding in the world. It says, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, right? With the Israelite men, because the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are both going to be here. Their presence is going to be here because the Lord is going to be able to draw near to us because we're going to be clean. We're not going to be stained and dirty like we are now. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power. Right, that's right. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Right, no more mourning, no more sorrow, no more sickness, no more bad days. You know, no more, battling demons and all that. None of that. Perfection, pure perfection. It says, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying. Right, neither shall there be any more pain. for the former For the former things, oh snap, hey birdie. For the former things are passed away. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. It says, for the former things are passed away. Right. Let's see what else we got. And they sat upon the throne, and he sat upon the throne. Behold, I'm sorry, let me read that again. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. That's right. It says, and he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. That's right. That's right. You know. So pretty much that's it right there. This is what we're waiting for, the kingdom of heaven. This world is a cesspool. It's filled with nothing but the only people that are really living it up here are the wicked, pretty much. Anybody else is not having a good time here. Trust and believe that. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. This is all a part of the gospel, and it must be spoken about. The sweet as well as the bitter. The nastiness of the scriptures. We have to speak about everything. We have not shunned to declare unto you all the gospel, all of it. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters, yes, I said few sisters, have been edified. To the next time I say shalom. Stay strong, keep the fight. Shalom.